Did you know that there are 15 secret steps to get a loan modification? In this video, we're going to be sharing with you what you need to know and how to get a loan modification. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from Ask Rinde. So loan modification is the best way to be able to stop foreclosure and stay in your home. Getting one, however, is not guaranteed. So loan modification is an option given to you by the bank as part of the loss mitigation process to be able to help you work out a solution if you're facing imminent foreclosure or the threat of foreclosure. So maybe you or someone that you know is currently in that position and they need to have a reset on their loan. They need to have a fresh start on the mortgage and have a fighting chance to be able to save and keep their home. If that's you or someone that you may know, please continue to watch this video because I'm going to share with you some highlights and secrets about the loan modification that many people don't know, and that is actually a make or break as to whether or not they'll be able to get a loan modification or they'll be denied for a loan modification. So keep watching. So before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe and share the video with someone you know. Also, I've done several other videos on loan modification in depth, and I'm going to leave links to them below where you can actually watch those videos and get more information. I'm also going to be doing a video on how to complete a loan modification application, and I'll be featuring that. So please comment below if you'd like to see that video. Without further ado, let's get into the secrets of the loan modification that you need to know. So the first secret that you need to be aware of is the secret of counting the time. So in a foreclosure, time actually trumps money. Although a foreclosure is actually a financial problem and needs a financial solution to be able to resolve it, time is a more dangerous threat because if you actually have the time, you can outlive the debt, you can outpace it, and you don't necessarily need to be under the threat of a timeline in order to be able to produce the money to make your payments back. So time actually becomes more paramount when it comes to a foreclosure situation, and timing becomes everything. So it's important to understand that the 37-day rule still applies. So meaning that the lender must receive an entire loan modification package from you, whole and complete from you, 37 days prior to any scheduled sale or proceeding when it comes to selling the property at auction, specifically if you're in a judicial foreclosure state. So this is very important because if you're looking to try to stop a sale, specifically if you're coming out of the pandemic and coming out of moratoriums and you don't have the money to actually pay all the arrearages if you were in a forbearance plan, or the lender does not give you a loan modification, or you're not currently queued to get one, or you don't have a remedy where they're taking the arrearages and put it in the back end of the loan, then you actually need that time. So counting the time becomes very important because you're going to find many people in a panic situation because they're actually now facing an imminent immediate foreclosure simply because they've already used up all their time through the forbearance, and also they've been in probably pre-foreclosure before the pandemic started or went in during the process, or don't have a job, don't have a way to actually have the money to be able to make the payment or any payment to the lender, and there's no remedy there. So they're going to be immediately in an imminent foreclosure situation, and the best solution for them would be to be able to get a loan modification. However, if you miss counting the time, you can miss the chance to be able to get a loan modification. So understanding that counting the time is extremely important. Whether it's your property, your residence, your primary residence, as I've said earlier, then you would actually be timing the bank. And you have to be able to know how to go about doing that. And if you have a multifamily property, and let's say you are a small landlord and it's still residential up to 4 family, then you actually are looking at maybe timing the eviction moratoriums and also the bank. So you have to do both in your case. So it's very important to understand the value and the imminent process of time when it comes to specifically what we're dealing with now, because many people are already queued up for foreclosure. So this is no longer where you see it coming, so to speak. They're already in it. It's just that they've been under these protections. When the protections are lifted, everyone's going to be exposed one way or another. It's going to be very important for you to know and be aware and know before you start that process what you need to do and be prepared with a plan to how to not only deal with the lenders because they're going to be filing insurance on the notes, but also how to start the process to have the best chance of getting a loan modification. The second thing that you need to be aware of is that you should not be turning in a loan modification application with mistakes. So what do you do after you turn in a loan modification application and there are mistakes? How do you know whether you've made mistakes or whether you've not made mistakes? How do you know whether or not you're going to be approved or whether you're not going to be approved? Over the years, after going over hundreds of loan modification applications and getting many done successfully, I can tell you that it's sometimes the most simplest mistakes that cause you to lose the battle. And so what you want to do is you want to be well positioned so that your loan modification application can have the best chance of approval. And in order to do that, you really just simply need to be reviewed. You need to have what you're sending into the bank be reviewed and actually looked at and looked over for corrections. Because sometimes the most simple things, 1 digit, 2 digits, or just 1 month that's missing, those things actually make a big difference. And especially with the timeline that we're in right now, where the lender's within full right to be able to start foreclosure proceedings, you want to make sure that you have the best chance to be able to clinch this and get this loan modification and get your property reset. The third secret that you need to be aware of is that there are many scammers that are poised to be able to take advantage of homeowners. Now, I've done a video on this where I've gone in detail on what to look for with dealing with foreclosure scammers and loan modification scammers. These also include attorneys. So you want to be very careful. A few things I like to highlight specifically in this area is that many times the scammers will promise you a 2% interest rate. They'll also promise you a principal reduction on your mortgage. And in addition to that, they'll also ask for tax returns. And basically, you need to be careful with all of these things, including giving them a third-party authorization with your social security number on it. In addition to that, you want to be careful because not all attorneys are created equal. Now, I can tell you that we work with attorneys, and we have attorneys that actually can state for a fact that there are other attorneys that just make their money off of filing cases that they know are going to go nowhere, meaning that they don't have a plan and do not have the wherewithal to be able to get a loan modification. However, they'll gladly take a retainer from you and also take monies from you that you don't have to be able to file a loan modification on your behalf, knowing that the bank is not going to be able to give you a loan modification based on the terms and what they're presenting to the bank. So it's very important to understand that scammers come in twofold. They can actually come through the form of mail that's sent to you where it looks like something that's sanctioned by the government, or it looks like something like is a mortgage pre-approval, so to speak. It looks very mortgagey and official. And then also it could be a phone call. It also could be a referral from a family or friend. So you have to be very cautious as to who you give your trust to, your money to, and more importantly, your time to. Because you have a very short window of time to be able to pull this off, and you don't want to give and spend that time with the wrong outfit, with the wrong person, because what they're going to do is they're going to use up valuable time that you don't have, leading you down a trail that's going to be not successful, that's not going to give you the resolve or the yield that you need. So it's very important to be able to screen scammers. In addition to that, it may be also attorneys that do not know what they're doing. You want to make sure that you're working with an attorney that is very versed and skilled in this specific area, because some attorneys are actually just real estate attorneys for maybe perhaps closings or other parts of real estate. They do not know how to navigate this process. So you need to make sure, if you need help with attorneys that we can refer you to specifically deal with this, we'll be happy to help you to do that. So I'd like to invite you to take the Loan Modification Challenge. This is going to be a 10-day journey where we're actually going to go step by step, showing you how to file a loan modification, how to go through the entire process from start to finish. We're also going to be sharing with you the 15 secrets that are actually pertinent to a loan modification in order to be able to get it done successfully. I'm also going to be including my loan modification map, which is actually included in our resource center on our website. I'm going to be including this within the challenge to be able to give you a snapshot so you actually can see visually where you are now and where you could be in the process, and also what to do if you get a denial. Some people actually are in a position where they file a loan modification and they're actually within this window of time where the lender restricts them from filing another loan modification. If you're in that circumstance, what do you do? If you need a third loan modification, what do you do? And if you're actually in a position where you don't know what to do, you've gotten this package from the bank and you're trying to figure out how to start the process, what to do, and most importantly, how do you avoid mistakes? How do you get it right the first time? Please, I'd like to open this up to you to be able to join the Loan Modification Challenge. It's very simple. We're going to actually be opening this up for 50 people. And we're doing that simply because I want to be able to be hands-on and help each person and not be spread out thin. So we only want to be able to have 50 people and be able to have hands-on, in-depth, concentrated training, and also help on guiding you through the entire process. And also you'll be in there with other people who are going through the same thing or similar, or have already gone on the other side and actually had success, where they'll be sharing some of their tactics and things that they've done and seen from their servicer and what to do. Remember, all services are not the same, just like all loans are not the same. So sometimes when you're in a situation, it's better to be able to have help. So the loan modification challenge is now open. We're going to leave a link below where you can actually just register and sign up for the loan modification challenge. As soon as we have 50 people, we'll be announcing a date where we'll be starting the challenge. You're going to have access to our private Facebook group and also our worksheets and also our loan modification map. And you'll have help on how to be able to go through this process, know the intricacies, know what to do once you file a loan modification, and also how to get the lender to be able to make sure that they are doing their part. Many times people are intimidated by the mortgage servicer and actually think that they're functioning in integrity and doing their part to be able to help you get a loan modification. And sometimes they're sadly mistaken because their house is taken from them. Their property goes to foreclosure, they end up with basically being homeless or having to move in with family and friends, put their properties in storage, etc., have their lives turned upside down. You don't want to be in that position. You want to have the best chance to be able to get a loan modification and get it done successfully. And most importantly, you want to be able to have a loan modification on terms that are actually affordable for you, that put you in a better position, not in a worse position. So we'd like to help you with that. Please feel free to join the loan modification challenge today. Again, only 50 spots are open. We'll actually be taking and fielding and going through your inquiries and your requests and actually inviting you into the challenge. So we look forward to seeing you inside the challenge. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave your comment below. And you can also email me at askrindenow@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.